So this is very wonderful topic that we are starting, Mahātaṇhāsaṅkhaya Sutta. So the last week we already discussed about how the tanha is arising and how this life cycle is happening. So Buddha says in Pali context, Anavathaggo ayam bhikkhave sankaro sansaro pubbha kotina paññāyati. But it means that the journey of this sansara is very far. We cannot see where it is starting and where it is and where is the start and ending point. We cannot see until attain nibbana. We cannot stop this sansara cycle. According to the Buddhism, if Buddha says this sansara is starting from there, it is a contradicted, because if it is all the Buddha's teaching is reason and results, so Buddha cannot explain, or Buddha never mentioned about, oh, this is the starting point. If something is starting, then someone can question how it start. What is the reason for start? Again, whatever the point we are point out, this is the starting point. Then again we have a problem. How it start from? That is why Buddha says, Pubbha kotina paññāyati. The starting point and the ending point we cannot say. Someone can say, oh, after millions of life, it will be end. After 100,000 life, it will be end. We cannot say like that. If there is a reason, the results will be happen. If there is no reason, the results will not happen. That is the only Buddha's teaching. But the problem is, and the main important thing is, we don't want to find out where it start. Buddha never mentioned that, please work hard, please go through the Dhamma, please encourage, and please work hard and do much effort, samma vayama purva. How to find, how to start in from this. Buddha's never encouraged for that. That is why some of the time, one of the Brahman, Rohitasa Brahman, is very famous person. When he wants to know how this universe is start, which is the ending point of this universe, with his super attainment power, he can fly, he can go very fast. So super attainment power, he using his super attaining power, and he searching where is starting, where is ending this universe. Buddha says the end of the universe you cannot, using your whatever the super attainment power, you cannot achieve. So if you want to search, if you want to find out the ending point of this universe, you have to attain arahantaship. Then you can realize that this is all about reason results, the cause and effects. There is nothing more than that. So that is how we have to understand, and based on that, last week we discussed about Paticcasamuppada, this very important topic, and I think you may have a few understanding about what we are talking about. So I would like to share that the last time what we discussed. So this is the very important point. This is the wheel of the becoming. You see the past causes. Phase 1 says that past causes. The past causes is, when someone is want to vipassana, the past causes also can be present reasons. If we vipassana past causes as the present reason, then the next life, the last life will become past causes. The last life it will become past causes. Then that life become a present reason, present effects. And that life, whichever he is doing, it comes present causes. Then this life become future effects. Likewise, in the vipassana, when we talking about the sammasara jnana, it says clearly it can be changed. It can be changed. If you are consider about the 10 lives before this life, then whatever you are consider life, they become a present life. However, the past, present, and the future, whichever you are consider, you can change. But Buddha says that the present causes if you are considered the moment, in this moment, what we are talking, what we are listening, in this moment, if you consider about the all the names and the forms, this moment is the present moment. Whichever is the passing, it become a past. Whichever the arising, it become future. The arising moment is the present. Whichever this past is past. Whichever is coming is present, is in the future. So you see, this is about Kanapachupana. We call in Pali Kanapachupana. At the moment the name and the forms are arising, passing, arising, preaching, that is the Kanapachupana. So this Kanapachupana will never change. You know, the Sammasanajana is clearly mentioned about that. There's a four types of Atita, Pachupan, and Anagata. The four types of Atita, Pachupan, Anagata. The first one it says Adana. Adana, Pachupan, Adana, Atita, Adana, Anagata mean, assume that in this life, when you are born in this life, before born is the Atita, before born is the past. From born to Chuti, that means born to die, it's the present. After die, the next life become a future. That is Adana Pachup, Adana Atita, Adana Pachupanna, Adana Nagata. Then another type, the second type is Adana Santati. The Santati Pachupanna, Santati Atita, Santati Anagata mean whichever when you are having a Kamma Chitta Ritu Ahara based on this, some time period it become a present, before that it become past, after that it become future. That is Santati. Santati means a collection of that life cycle, collection of some period. When we consider about some period, that period become a present, before that it become a past, after that it become a future. The third one is Samaya Pachupan, Samaya Atita, Samaya Nagate. That means also when we consider about the morning time, if you consider about morning time, the last night become a past, the morning become present, the evening or afternoon become future. Likewise, changing factors, when we are consider about whatever the factors, based on that, the present, past, and future will be changed. But Kanapachuppanna. Kanapachuppanna is the point you are observing at the moment. At the moment, very fast, the moment will be arising, perching, arising, perching. The name and the forms, names and the forms, arising, passing. That is about Kanapachuppanna. This will be never change, never change. That is why when you are see this diagram, the past causes it results the present effects, then the present effects is results the present causes, then the present causes is results future effects. If you are consider about this cycle is continuity. The continuity of the cycle will be never end until you attain arahantaship. That is what Buddha is want to teach at that time for the Sati Bhikkhu. But Sati Bhikkhu is get misunderstanding about the Dhamma. That is why Buddha is blaming to him, and Buddha is actually discourage his bad thought. That is, Buddha is clearly mentioned. No, I'm not teaching like that. The main problem is Sati said, no, Buddha is teaching like this. Buddha is teaching like this. What he said is not Buddha is not said. That is the problem. So someone, in here, there are so many, then Preeti ma'am, and some of them, they are doing lectures, maybe senior lectures or whatever. When they are doing some lectures, if some student, after the lecture, or maybe after 1 month, then one of the students says, oh, Preeti ma'am says like this, like this, like this. He's telling totally misunderstanding, and he telling totally wrong. But he said, oh, Preeti ma'am is teaching like this. This ma'am is Kavitra ma'am is teaching like this. Then what will happen? Then it's a very contradicted, because not only the misunderstanding, but also he mentioned, oh, this ma'am teaching like this. Then others will be confused. What? How they are teaching like that? It's wrong. That is bad. Then that is why Buddha is explaining. No, that is very wrong. That is very wrong. I'm not teaching like that. You are misunderstanding. What I'm teaching is I'm teaching about Paticcasamuppada. I'm teaching about cause and effects, the reason and results, combination of reason and results. So in that case, we have to understand very first. That is why before I move to the sutta, I explaining about how ignorance, how craving, how clinging is comes to our life in past, present, and the future. Remember that what we all discuss, this is everything within this framework arising process. This is not outside thing. We are not talking about outside factors. We are talking about whichever the internally it's arising passing, that is internally within this framework it's happening. That is why Buddha says, Imasmi eva vyamamatta kalebare dukkhancha panyapemi samudayancha nirodhancha magganja. That means whichever we are going to talking about the fourth noble truth, it's within this framework, not in outside. If someone realizes within this framework what is ignorance, what is craving, what is clinging, then he realizes that, oh, this is arising within this framework, not outside. And also, volitional formation as is the pre-intention and the end action intention, what we call sankhara and karma. The both also arising within this framework, not from the outside. So that is why you have to focus on yourself. That is why you have to focus on yourself within this framework, how this combination is every moment, moment by moment, moment by moment. That is why with the vipassana, when someone is doing vipassana, it's very important to doing vipassana. If someone know about this combination of the past causes, how affect the future results, present results, and the present causes, how it affect the future results. If someone know about this combination, then it really helps to do vipassana is very important, because if someone wants to do vipassana, he should have a clear idea about the reason results combination. So however, last time we already explaining with the most some examples as well as now, the Sati Bhikkhu says same consciousness will be leading next life, next life, next life. But according to our discussion of the last week, you will realize that I already explaining, if you are doing some good thing at the moment or in the future or in the past days, you are doing at the moment with your physically or verbally or mentally, you are focusing on your object, and you are doing some good thing, maybe wholesome thing. But what will happen at the moment, in now, after 1 year or 2 year or 1 month or whatever the time after, then you want to remember that what I'm doing in that day, what I'm doing, what I did that day in the past. When you remember that, you feel, oh, wonderful, I offered flowers, I offered something, I worship for Buddha, I giving food dana for the whatever the people. Then likewise, when you are thinking, you feel happy. So in this incident, if you consider about this incident, you can realize that the Sati Bhikkhu is get wrong. Why? Whichever in the past, whatever you are doing, that is at the moment you are doing. At that time you are really actively, maybe physically, maybe verbally, maybe mentally, you are really doing that action. But this moment when you are remember, or when you are revise that, this moment you are not doing, but you revise something and you remember that what you are doing. Then in that case you can understand the consciousness should be two. At the moment when you are doing, we call kusala. When you remember you are whatever remind, we call vipaka. See, the consciousness is not same. The kusala consciousness and the wholesome consciousness, or the merits one and the results one is two one. So how we can say same consciousness is going each and every life? That is not happen. That is not happen. And other side is, if you are not remember, if you forget about that, the vipaka will not come. Vipaka is coming when you remember. Sometimes if you are doing some bad, very worst thing, time to time your consciousness will remember that, oh, this is happened, this is happened. But each and every second, whichever the thought process, whichever the consciousness is happening, it is new one, it is not the same one. Why consciousness is happening? Because of the reason and results, reason and results, reason and results, the cause and effects. Because of that, what will happen? The process is continuously happen. Most of the people when who don't know about them, they all are under misunderstanding. Same person, same consciousness, same rupa, same vedana, same sanya, same sankara will be arising and will be continuously same five factors, five aggregates will be continue same. No, it will not happen. The aggregates is change. Kana pachupanna. The moment by second. Kana pachupanna. That means moment by moment, it's very fastly change. If something is change, that is not same thing. That is new thing. That is you have to understand. The changing mean not like removing. It's not like removing our cloth. Or it's not like when we are cutting our nail. The same example. When sometimes you cut your hair, sometimes you would cut your nails. If it is same thing, if it is same nail, when you cut it, what will happen? It should be not cut. It should be same as it is. When you cut, while you are continuously cutting, the nail will be grow. The growing nail is not same thing. Growing because of the kamma chitta ritu ahara, because of that factors, the nail is growing. Same as the entire body, as well as Vedana, Sanya, Sankara, Vijnana, every five aggregates changing moment by moment and arising preaching, what is happening at the arising passing, whatever the five aggregates arising passing, it will not stop. It will not stop because of the reason. If there is a reason, the arising passing will be continuous. That is we call dukkha. That is we call dukkha. The continuity will never stop. Even die, it not stop. Within 1 second, next born will be happen. Within 1 second, next kana will be happen. The born is will happen. So, however, this concept, when we are consider about this concept, then when other religions, especially in the Christian religion, they have another concept about the soul and the anatta. Then in the Buddhism we call anatta. There is no any person, no, there is non-self. The concept of the non-self and concepts of the soul. The soul concept is teaching by the Christian religion. The non-self concept is teaching by the Buddha. Then how we can clarify this is because in the Christian religion, they are in the Christian people, the Christianity, they are teaching about if we are believe the God, if we are giving our entire faithfulness for Him, if you really trust Him, if you pray for Him, if you really dedication for Him, if we really be with God, then our soul stay with them, stay with in the heaven, and lastingly, everlastingly, the soul will be there. So that is about misinterpretation. Because why? They know even whatever they are believing, soul concept teach by right. The soul concept also here teach by the Hinduism also. That is what we have to understand. The
Even
soul
Jainism
concept
also.
is sorry.
Even Jainism also they have the Atman concept.
Yeah. The soul concept and the anartha. That is why Buddhism is specialized. Because remember that, you know, when you are born, you are not you like very small baby. But when your age is coming 10 or 20 or whatever the age, then you see that when you are born is something like that. But when you are getting older, getting aging, then your structure is changing. Same as your Vedana, Sanya, Sankar, Vijnana, same as your thoughts, your attitudes, and everything is changing. But most of the people who really doesn't understanding about the cause and effects, they feel that same baby now become aging or now become very old. Same baby become older. It will never happen. Same baby, it become older, then the structure should be not change. You see, there's someone say no because of he eating, because of he feeding milk, or because of he doing whatever the activities. That is why he's growing. No, The growing is happening because of the reason. The Kamma, Chitta, Ritu, Ahar, the structure is continue because of the reason, and the forms also, the names is name also continue because of the reason. The name and the forms continuity is happen because of the reason and result. The continuity based on the reason and result. When we consider about the continuity based on the reason and results, then we can realize that impermanency. We can realize about suffering. We can realize about there is no person, only the, if there is a reason, results will be there. If there is no reason, results will not be there. That is the only the concept, that is the basic and the very important concept that you have to understand. According to last week, we are discussed the ignorance and craving and clinging at once it's happened. Because if he really doesn't know about the what is the real meaning of the suffer, every time we fool with the objects, maybe from the eye, maybe from the ear, maybe from the nose, maybe from the tongue, maybe from the body, maybe from the mind. These five aggregates, because of these five aggregates, Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankara, Vinyan, because of these five aggregates, especially I have to understand the six senses, six senses, whichever the objectively connect, or when we are connect with the objects, then we feel something, then we are fooled with that object, with that senses, then the ignorance, craving, and clinging. The three things is suddenly happen. Not only that, but also based on that thing, then again sankara come also happening in the ear, the whichever the continuity based on the continuity of the reason and result. The other one is we have to understand when we see something suddenly the interesting will not, or craving or clinging will not happen. That is very important. That is why we can attain nibbana. If Buddha is says, if in the according to Buddhism, if it is says when you see something suddenly craving and clinging happen, then you cannot never attain nibbana. The ignorance, craving, clinging is happening not suddenly, because of your past attitudes or past experience, maybe 10 lives or whatever the past lives, whatever you are practicing your way, that also helps to that. And also the moment, at the present moment, whichever you are seeing, whichever you are hear, whichever you heard, whichever you smell, taste, whatever, then everything, there are many reasons, causes for the ignorance, craving, and clinging. Not only one thing. But in the Paticca, but about the depending origination, then it's really mentioned about the which one is the closest reason. Close reason for that. That is why avijja pacha sankara. But for the sankara, not only the avijja is reason, but also there are many reasons to the sankara. So, however, we have to understanding about the depending origination. That is very important topic. And also what we have to I want to tell is the avijja, the ignorance, that is also within your framework. That is moha chetasika. Avijja is called moha chetasika. Craving, that is tanha, that is lobha chetasika. That also in the chetasika, one of the chetasika. And the clinging, that also again ditti, the lobha plus the lobha chetasika and ditti chetasika, both is including in the clinging. Then you can understand the craving is lesser than the clinging. Clinging is the bigger than something, when we are see something, when we heard something, when we smell something, when we taste something, when we feel something, or whatever the outside senses, we like, we feel, we want. If I have that, that is very good. But everything will not comes to your life. Everything will not belongs to yourself. If something is belongs to yourself, then you never want to give up. You want to know it is mine, that is mine, that is mine. That is the difference between craving and clinging. Because if you see some very beautiful car in the car sale, you have a craving, you have a tanha, but until it's not belongs to you, you don't have a ditti. Even assume that, then you saw some beautiful car, then you have a very interesting on that. You feel really I want that, I like that, but you don't have money to buy it. then what will happen? That you have a craving on that, but you don't have a clinging because that is not belongs to you. Assume that you pay some big money and you buy it. You bought it. You already bought it that car. What will happen? Every day you are washing, every day you are looking, and you have to take care of the tires, you have to take care of the engine, you have to take care of the everything you are take care. But when it's in the car sale, you never think about, but you like, but you not maintain anything. But when you take it, you maintain. Why? You feel that that belongs to you. That is ditti. You see, likewise, when you are going to marry, assume that in university or whatever the way, whatever wherever the place, you saw your the soul partner or your partner you saw, but until you don't have any connection or even you don't have a connection or relationship, you like it, but you know that is not belongs to you. Even he is going to talk with some other person, then you even you have a anger, you cannot tell anything because still you don't have any relationship. But assume that now you are married, what will happen? You don't want to give any permission to engage with others you don't like, and you always consider about where are you, where are you, where are you, where are you, what are you doing, what are you doing? Why this is? That is the difference between the craving and clinging. These everything, remember that very secondly, the each and every moment, if you are full with the object, the craving and clinging will be arising, even you like or not. If this tree is arising, that the kilesa is arising within your framework, within your heart, within your nama, then what will happen? That the sankara kamma, both are we known as chetana. Chetana. You have to think first thing. You have to think, then you are acting. You have think and acting. Without thinking, you cannot acting. Whatever you are, physical law, verbal law, mental, wholesome or unwholesome, first of all, you have to think. Assume that now you are joined with the Dhamma discourse. You know, every time, oh, today is Saturday, I have to join fees at the 7:30, I have to join. Then you think. Even you think you cannot join. You can know I today I can't, I will not join. That also you have to think. Whichever you are think, we call sankara. If you are doing action, if you are completely doing that action, that is karma. The sankar is lesser than the karma. Karma is very powerful. The end action is very powerful. Even you are thinking to kill some animal or person, it also karma, but very lower power. The sankar, the thought is bad. Because of bad thought, it become results, not for the born, but after born it will be results. But if you are in action, if you are doing, that means nishtapana chetana, Purvagami Chetana, Nishtapana Chetana. You are think and acting, both is happening. The acting is more powerful. If you are doing, if you are now you want to blame to someone, but you say, no, 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 I'm not blaming. I will not blame. That is only Chetana, that the pre-intention. Because you are not put your word to out. If you have put your out verb, if your word is putting out it, it's very dangerous. You cannot take it back. When you get angry, you want to blame, but still you are patient. No, no, I'm not blame. I'm not blame. Still you are safe. Still you are safe because your karma is not much powerful. But if you are blaming or if you are telling bad words or harsh word, then it become a karma. That karma is very powerful. Not ending this life, not ending next life. It's ending until you attain arahantaship. The karma will comes with you. Karma will comes with these five aggregates as a cause, as a result, as a cause, as a result. Because you are doing the cause now, then the results will be comes with until attain nibbana. That is the past reasons. Now that is why some of them they are really aggressive, some of them they are very loving, some of them are very kind, some of them they never thinking about others, some of them very selfish. Why these changes? Why these characteristics changes? Because of they are practicing the five aggregates, whichever the within these names and form. Some of the names and form are especially names, especially nama. The chitta chetasika is practicing some anger, practicing some loving and kindness, practicing some whatever the selfishness, practicing some jealousness, something, wholesome or unwholesome, the good or bad, whichever they are practicing their past life, then what will happen? The reason and results, the combination is always arising, passing. Whatever the five aggregates, arising, passing, the practicing of that, the improving of that defilements, based on that improving of the defilements, the same structure, same structure, the life by life, whatever they are, wherever they born, then the results will happen. That is why most of the people they feel that the same soul, same consciousness will be arising, will be happening, will be born. That is why the soul concept is coming. Because even the other religions, that is why the last week I already mentioned about that. Only Buddha can explaining about this, the dependent origination. Only Buddhas can teach. Even Hinduism, they are whatever they want to explaining their religion. No, we are the truth. Buddha also coming from our Lord. Oh, Buddha also one of the Buddha is just one of the frame of the Ishvara or whatever Vishnu. That is really, misunderstanding. Not only that, everyone can say, no, my teacher is Buddha, my teacher is Buddha. No problem. But that is not the reason. That is not the main point. Everyone can say, oh, Galle is the Buddha. I also can, I'm the Buddha. But even I'm say, I have to explain how become I big Buddha. That is the point. If I say no, I will explaining about the name and form. Oh, you can say no. There's one person he already teach that. Then you are only follower. You are not a Buddha. Likewise, the first person who really explaining about that depending origination, who really explaining about the fourth noble truth, who really explaining about the vipassana, it's the Gautama Buddha in this life, in this what we call within this kalpa. There's a four person have become a Buddha. The Gautama Buddha is the fourth person. So we have to understanding about this. Whoever talking, whoever telling, okay, Vishnu is the Buddha, no problem. Tell me what Vishnu is teaching. How Vishnu is teaching. Then we can question. Based on that questions, most of them they cannot answer as it is. They are just say, no, God is the Vishnu is everything is creating. Then who create Vishnu? If you are believer, Vishnu is a Deva. If someone is believer is Vishnu is Deva, then we can question how Vishnu is who create Vishnu. Then they cannot say no, he is coming. Suddenly he cannot say suddenly he is appearing. Oh, suddenly is appears be known as Opapatika. Suddenly it's appeared, suddenly something is appeared, we call Opapatika. Opapatika also some of the reason. Then someone says Hindu has been doing Vishnu is the Buddha propaganda for the least 2K years till yet. That's true because most of the people they are thinking no because the Christian people they said no Jesus is the person, Jesus is the telling only the truth. Other if you are not following Jesus, you definitely go to hell. Then we have to understanding about not going to hell or not going to heaven. Buddhism is not talking about the going to heaven or going to hell. Buddhism is talking about how to stop this cycle. But if you are really consider about the whatever the other religions, wherever the other religions teachings, when you are consider, you can see finally they are finally they reach. If you want to go to heaven, you have to do this. If you go to hell, you have to do this. Based on your action, based on your verbal, physical, and mental action, the heaven and the hell will be decided. If you want to enter eternally, everlasting you, if you want to stay with the Jesus, then you have to believe, you have to faith on that, you have to pray for that. But you can see wherever you are born, the problem will not happen. Problem will not end. If somewhere is born, aging will be happen, death will be happen. That is the problem. That is why in the heaven, in the Dibya Loka, in the heavens, the most of the devas they think we are everlasting, we never die, we have a long life, we are never our skin color, appearance, it's never changed. So they believe that they are everlasting. What will happen is when the Buddha is attain enlightenment of the Buddha, as a Buddha, did the Siddhartha Gautama is attain the enlightenment of the Buddha? He said, no, there is nothing everlasting. Everything is impermanent. Everything is suffer. Everything is non-self. This is cause and effects, cause and effects, the cause and effect, the because of the reason results. The cycle is again and again happen, again and again happen. Then the Deva got shocked. What? We thought this is permanent. We thought there is no suffer. We thought this is none, this is myself. There is nothing is wrong. How we can bear up that? How we can change? How we can accept this? Oh, this is wonderful. Buddha is never telling lies. Then there should be something. That is why we have to learn. In the Deva, some of the Deva, they want to learn about Dhamma. When they learn Dhamma, they realize in the truth and they are ending this suffer. But most of the Deva, they not accept it. Not only the Deva, but also Brahma, but also humans. They're not accepting Buddhism. They are arguing. They are thinking, no, I'm not recommend. I'm not believing. I'm not believing. Don't worry about that. Because everyone not believing Buddhism. Because Buddha says, Paññāvantasāyan dhammo nāyan dhammo duppanyas. Who is the wise person? Who has the wisdom? Then that person is the only person who can attain him. So remember that. We have to understanding about Dhamma is Dhamma. It's a very wonderful. Even you believe or not, even others are believe or not, even they have a different thoughts of Buddhism or Buddha. Don't worry. You don't worry about that because we cannot explain it for everyone. This is the truth. Even we explain it to entire world, very few of them they believe. Very few of them they believe about Buddhism. That is the truth. So based on this, I think the last week, we all discussed about the present, the past reasons, the last life, because of whatever the object, the eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, whichever the senses, however the senses is coming, you already decide the hell, animal world, the demon world is not good, the human world, Deva world, and the Brahma world is the best and the good. Based on that wrong thought, you already expecting to born in the good life, better life. Even this life also you are feeling like that. Even you are learning Dhamma, when you are aging, if you are not attained Nibbana, when you are not attained Arahantaship, you feel, oh, wherever I die, whenever I die, I want to born in a human world, I want to go on the good place, I don't want to go hell, I don't want to become animal. The thought is automatically happen because we are not realizing the suffer, the noble truth of the suffer, we are not realizing as it is. That is why we want to born in the good place. That is why we want to born in the good, whatever the state. So whatever, then when you have such a thought in the wrong thought about the borning, the place of the born, you think the human world is good as a human, being a human is the best, being a deva is the best, being a brahma is the best, being animal is not good, it's the worst, being a demon is the worst, being in the hell is the worst. So based on that thought process, the Bhava Tanha is arising. Oh, I want to this place, I want this place. Whatever that this Tanha is happening is that the foolishness also there, thinking also there, the Sankara, the formation also there. Based on the past reason, then what will happen? Even you are not because of your interesting or something. Based on that reasons, the present results will be happen. Consciousness, name and forms, six senses bases, contact and feelings. That is we call present results. These results no one cannot change. When you're born as a black, so you are because of the reason, the skin color, the eyes, nose, and the tongue, the tallness, and the your structure of the body and everything. You are female or male, everything because of the results. The past come, the past reason, the results is arising. You cannot change. But nowadays, most of the people they are trying to change these results also. But you cannot change. You cannot change. This is even the arahantaship. These five results is same as it as we. But the what is the most important part is the present reasons. The vipassana is really helps to change in this section. the present reasons. When you are doing vipassana, when you are observing actually what is the process of the names and forms, what is the actual process of the sansara, what is the actual process of the reason and causes, the causes and effects, you have to observe the present moment, not the past, not the future, because past is past, future is not still arise or not reliable. The reliable moment is the present moment. When you are doing vipassana present moment, then you can realize that what a fast is changing. Name and form is changing very fast. Very fast is change. Then how we can feel, oh, this is me, this is me, this is me. No, the changing is very fast. You cannot even touch if you are not in a very good mindfulness, if you are not in a very good concentration. If you realize even 1 second this is very fastly changed, you realize that, oh, there is no any person, there is no any animal, there is no any nisatta nijjiva shunya, there is no satta, there is no jiva, there is a empty only, because the five aggregates that much fast, arising, passing, arising, passing, arising, passing. You cannot take it, you cannot touch, you cannot stay, you cannot just moment, you know, I want to stay there, I want to stay there, don't change. Even you are thinking, or even you are blessing, or even you are prayer, even you pray, it's worthless, it's useless, because the changing is that much past. So based on that, how we can say the same soul is going to born next life and next life and next life, same life, same life, same consciousness will be moving, same life, next life, next life. So it's wrong. The consciousness is the very fastly, very rapidly change. Even if the consciousness have no any lifetime than the rupa, because rupa has 17 kshana. If there's something is ruled, some rupa is happening, some form is happened, it has a 17 kana to lifetime. But for the names, only one kana. See how it's the weak. Suddenly it's happening and arising and passing. Very few, very rapidly change the names. So how we can say same name is same consciousness is going to life by life? That is really totally misunderstanding. That is what Buddha is want to say. That is what Buddha is teaching to the Sati. No, you are wrong. You are totally misunderstanding about Dhamma. You are totally misinterpreting the Dhamma. That is what I'm teaching. I'm teaching about the cause and effects. That is why we have to understand as a Buddhist people, as a Buddhas, as a faithfulness of the Buddha, and as a this is not about the faithfulness of the Gautama Buddha. This is not because of this is we are not based on the faithfulness. Even we base on the faithfulness, when we are revise, when we analyze, when we are go through when the depth point, when we are going to root point, where root level, when we are observing the root level, we realize by yourself, ehipasika, openayaka, pachattam veditaba. If you are realized by yourself, that is not a Buddha's realizing, that is your realizing. No one cannot change, no one cannot challenge, because you are realized this is the truth. So that is what that is why in the other religions, I'm believing because of the Jesus says, I'm believing because of the Vishnu says, I'm believing because of the Nabi, so Allah says. That is not true. We are not believing because of Buddha says. We just have a faithfulness of the Buddhism and the Dhamma when we have to follow. Even we believe in Buddha, oh, Buddha is telling this is truth. No, that is truth for Buddha, not truth for you. It becomes truth for you when you realize. Other than that, it's not truth for you. Even we say suffer, suffer, suffer is the noble truth. The origin, the cessation of the suffer is the origin of the suffer is the noble truth. The cessation of the suffer is the noble truth. The eight noble path is the noble truth. That is truth for the Buddha. That is truth for the who is enlightened. That is not truth for you until you are not enlightened. When you are enlightened, then it becomes truth for yourself. So that is why you have to understand, you have to practice, you have to observe, you have to improve your sila, samadhi, panya. Then one day you are enlightened, then you can really shouting and you can say, yes, this is truth. What Buddha is teaching is truth. And that day you are not telling because of the Buddha says. And that day you says because of I am realizing. I realize this. I realize this is the truth. So we call bhavana me panya. Bhavana me panya. When you're listening Dhamma, you feel, oh, this is truth. That is sutta me panya. Whatever you listen, when you are thinking, you feel, oh, this is truth. That is chinta me panya. Still you are not realized. But when you are practicing Dhamma, when you are doing Vipassana, when you are practicing Sila Samadhi Panya as it is, as Buddha says, as you thought, as you learn, then you feel your defilements is very fastly going down, going down, going down. And you feel your wisdom is very highly understanding, whichever your senses, whichever the base on the senses, whatever you contact, whatever the object, you realize, no, this is not truth. It's also very fastly, rapidly change. Whichever the rapidly change, not the same thing. If it is a rapidly change, it's not same thing, then how can I attach? How can I observe? How can I craving on that? How can I clinging on that? Because it's changing. You attach with something, suddenly it's changed. That means you're attaching is not same thing, it's a changing. The changing. If it is rapidly change, you cannot touch any second. Any second you cannot touch as it is. You cannot attach with any second as it is. But you feel that same thing as because the changing, the rapid change, you cannot see from your eye. The rapid change you cannot heard your listen you cannot listening from your ear. The rapid change you cannot observe from your nose. The rapid change you cannot observe from the tongue. The rapid change you cannot observe on your body. The rapid change you can observe him from your mind. That is why you need vipassana jnana. The rapid change, if you are observing from your mind with the meditation, the vipassana meditation, then you realize that the rapid changing is rapid. Such a fast impermanency. If there is impermanency, still is based on the cause and effects, it's continuous, that is suffer. Whichever it's continuity, whichever it's continue, you realize that there is no any person, there is no any life being, just cause and effects, cause and effects, cause and effects, but the continuity is same. Continuity is same. Because of this continuity, if you are not realizing the cause and effects, most of the people they fool with that. There is a one person, there is a one person, same consciousness will be arising, passing, arising, passing, same consciousness, the consciousness will be not changed. Whichever the life by life, same consciousness will be going. That is fool. This is totally misunderstanding. That is totally wrong. That is why the Hinduism, the Islam, Christianism, and the Islamic, most of the people they believe that the same consciousness will be as it is, as it is. If you are thoroughly believe on that, the Vishnu or whoever the teacher, then you will become in lasting, everlasting life. It will never change. That is true. That is very bad. That is very lying. So, however, if someone says the Jesus or the Vishnu, whatever the God or wherever, that is why at very first I'm telling the 30 there are 31 levels we call the Sakala, the 16 types of Brahma world, the 4 types of Arupa world, 6 types of Deva world, the 1 human world, Tirachana, Preta, Asura, Nira, whichever the 31 places, wherever you are born, Vishnu also some place. Jesus also, whatever the last some place, they are also not happening in suddenly because of the reason results. Whichever the life being is same. My teacher is the Deva, he's the Buddha, he's something like this, he's very powerful person. Whatever powerful, whoever they were, wherever he's born, wherever he's staying, that also reason results. That also reason results. If it is a reason results, changing is there, impermanence is there, suffering is there, non-self also there, then how we can say like that? Even the Gautama Buddha also died. Even the Gautama Buddha also aging. Sometimes the Buddha says, Ananda, now my body is like is a whole cart. That means all cart means the cart means the cows in India is very famous vehicle cart. All cart is already very damaged. Sometimes the wheels are very damaged, the structure is damaged. Likewise, Ananda, my body also something like that. That means Buddha is reflecting, Buddha is saying the same scenario is common for me as well as common for you. That is, even I'm Buddha. No, I'm a permanent. I'm everlasting. My life is everlasting. No, Buddha says, now is my time is right. I'm realizing what I'm realizing. Now I'm not again born because I have no any craving. I have no ignorance. I have no clinging. If there is this, if there is the place, the development is not within this framework, then a bond will not happen. The structure, the continuity will not happen. That is what Buddha is teaching. So based on this learning, so you have to understanding. This is very important topic that we have to talk, we have to discuss. If you go through to the discussion about the Mahātaṇhāsaṅkhaya Sutta, then you can understand. So, thus I have heard at one time the Blessed One was dwelling near Savatthi grow in Anathapindika's monastery. So remember that when you are listening or when you go through the sutta, we don't need about the story what is happened at that time. We need the core of Dhamma. What actually this sutta is really explaining. If you know about the core of Dhamma, we don't need to know about what is Sati's thought, what is who is Sati and how he's become, what happened to the Sati. Nothing. That is useless. No need to worry about that. What is happening or whatever happened, it belongs to the Sati, the big Sati. But what we want to know is, based on this story, based on this happening, what Buddha is, what Buddha is teach, what Buddha is overcome, what Buddha is giving as a Dhamma. That is what we want. So he's the son of the fishermen, and as I understand the Dhamma taught by the Blessed One, then he thought, oh, Buddha is teaching like this. It is the same consciousness that runs and transmigrate, not others. Now, a number of monks heard, oh, what will happen when he teach in one way, when he said like something very wrong way, the wicked view. Wicked view means that is a bad view, the misunderstanding view, misunderstanding thought. Based on that, he is teaching, oh, Buddha is teaching like this. Not he is teaching, Buddha is teaching like this. That is the main problem. Oh, the Buddha is teaching like this. Don't worry, I know about this. Buddha is teaching like this. That is very poor. Even he said, no, Buddha is teaching something, but I realize something like this. Then everyone can understand, oh, you are misunderstanding. But he said, no, Buddha, the blessed one, is the thought by the blessed one. That is why this sutta is something coming very serious, because someone says, no, Galle is teach like this. Is it because the entire responsibility goes to the Galle, not him. So like that, when Sati Bhikkhu says, according to the now at that time the which view arose in the name Sati, he said that as I understand the Dhamma taught by the blessed one, as I understand the Dhamma taught by the blessed one. The blessed one is thought Dhamma is something like this, but my understanding is something like this. Maybe it's right, maybe it's wrong. Then that's very fair. Buddha's teaching Dhamma is something way. According to Buddha's, as I understand, Dhamma taught by the Buddha, this is the same. Then that can be right, that can be wrong. If there's a wrong, please correct me. If he said something like, now that is very okay. But the number of bhikkhus says no, that they say that which view of this sort has arising in the monk named Sati, the fisherman of Zam. As I understand the Dhamma taught by the Blessed One, it is the same consciousness that runs and transmigrate, not another. Those monks approached the monk Sati, the fishermen of Zam. Having approached, they said, this is monk Sati, the fishermen of Zam. Is it true, friend Sati, that the big view of thought has arisen in you? As I understand, likewise, the same story asking. Then he said, yes, that's indeed, friends. I understand the Dhamma taught by the Blessed One. It is the same consciousness that runs, he said, same story. Those monks wishing to detach the monk Sati, the fisherman's son, then they said, no, that is integrate. Then he said, do not speak thus, friend Sati. Don't tell like that. Do not misinterpret the Blessed One. That is why I said, no, you are in misinterpretation. Don't do that. Don't tell like that. Then the Bhikkhu says, do not misinterpret the Blessed One. For misrepresenting the Blessed One is not good. The Blessed One would not speak thus. consciousness friend Sati has been said by the Blessed One to be dependently originated. That is what we are talking about. Paticca dependently originated in many ways, not only one way. In many ways, there is no origination of consciousness apart from conditions. Even though the monk Sati, even though when the other bhikkhu says he is not changing his mind, he's not changing his mind. He's no. Even you said I'm not believing. I'm believing this way. This is the what Buddha says. This is what I realize. This is what I realize as Buddha's teaching. So they say, no, that is wrong, that is wrong, that is wrong. Even he said, then Sath is not changing his mind. So that is the story behind the Mahātaṇhāsaṅkhaya Sutta. So stories actually we just need to know for our references, but remember that we have to understanding. When those monks were unable to dissuade the monks, then they are not powerful. They are not capable to change the Sati bhikkhu's mind. Then what will happen? They going to tell the approach to Bhagava. Having respectfully greeted Bhagava, then the greeted Bhagava, and they said, and Bante, the Sati Bhikkhu, there's a one Bhikkhu name called Sati. The wrong view of this thought, Venerable Sir, has arising in the monk Sati, the fishermen of the sun. I understand. Then they are explaining the story, what Sati is teaching and what Sati has taught. Then what will happen? Then Bante says, then they are said all the story, what is happening. And we said, Bante, we already explained to Sati, do not misrepresent the Bhagava. Indeed, Buddha is never says, Bhagava is never saying like this. Then how you can say like that? Then even though, then at that time, now the big bhikkhu is complaining to the Bhagavad, then Bhante says, okay, from my word, uh, then some of the then what is happening is says then after that yes, wait a minute. That is so when the monks were unable to pry the monks Sati, the fishermen of Sun, away from that, then they are going to said. So the blessed one told the certain monk, come monk, in my name call the monk Sati, the fisherman's son, saying the teacher called you friend. Then normally when someone is complaining about other person, then the Buddha says, okay. Then the teacher, normally teacher says, okay, tell him to come. Ask him to come and talk to me. I will explaining. I will solve this problem. Then teacher knows the way. Then what is happened? The teacher calls. Then the bhikkhu is going to tell, oh Sati, the Buddha is called you. Please come. Then the teacher calls you, friend Sati. As you say, Lord, the monks answered, then having gone to the monk Sati, and then they are explaining to Sati, and Sati is coming. Then Buddha is asking one question, what? As I understand the Dhamma taught by the Blessed One, it is just an consciousness that runs the vendor or not another. The same consciousness, same consciousness. Then exactly so, Lord. Then Buddha says, is it true that you are telling like this, telling like this? Is that true? Then he said, exactly so, Lord. As I understand the Dhamma taught by the Blessed One, it is just the consciousness that runs and vendors on not another. Which consciousness are they? Then Bhakti is asked, the Buddha asks, which consciousness is that? What kind of consciousness, what kind of consciousness you are talking about? It speaks this knower, Lord, that is sensitive here, and they are to the repairing of good and evil action. Then he said, uh, the sensitive here, then if you are here in the Sinhala terms, in when we go to the Pali content, it says, he says, Yuayam bante vado vedeyo tatra tatra kalyana papakanam kammanam vipakam patisamvediti. Then he said, someone is speaking, someone is feeling, whichever the feels. Based on that, what will happen? Tatra tatra kalyana papakanam kammanam. Based on the whichever the results, the vipaka, whoever based on the wholesome or unwholesome, based on that the wholesome or unwholesome action, verbally or physically or mentally, when they are, if someone is uh, getting some results as a vipaka, then that is the consciousness. He said that is the consciousness. That means he forget about the consciousness is a changing factor. He feel that whatever we are discussed, whatever we are talking, whatever we are acting, whatever the things, based on that the results is happening, the same consciousness. He is the person again happen, again born, again born. Then what will happen? Buddha says, Buddha is blaming. No, that is really wrong. That is really wrong. Don't tell him like that. Don't tell him like that. Then what will happen? Buddha says in that time, here we will go. Whatever conditions depend on the which consciousness arising by the very, it goes to the designed just as consciousness marks. Depending on the I and the form consciousness arises, it goes to be designed just as I consciousness. So the consciousness is something, based on the senses that it says. Because of these stories, the discussion is going very deeply. But what I want to tell is, wait, someone is questioning. Buddha explained in this sutta the birth process of being in the some Pali term. Wait. Buddha explained in this sutta the birth process of being in the world. That other word I cannot see. Wait.
Yeah, Bhante, she is asking how the birth taken in the womb, mother's womb.
Yeah. The mother's womb is, remember we have to understand. Yeah, I'll explain. Uh, No, we are just knowing we should not only consider about we should not consider only about the womb, but also the eggs, the andaja, jalavaja, opapatika, sanseta. There's a four places that any live being can be arise, any live being. Because as a human we are born as a womb, some of the human can be born as a opapatika, like who the person, the Ambapali, that the lady who called Ambapali, very famous lady in the Buddha's time, she's born as a Upapatika. So most of the human beings are born as a born in a womb, the mother's womb, and especially in the Deva, they are born as a they are born in the Upapatika. The question is Vandami Bante, Kamatame Bante. What is Gandhabba? Yes, I will explain it. The Gandhabba is, I will first explaining about the first question. So the four types of the places, wherever the four types of places, there may be Upapatika, maybe womb, maybe as a egg, maybe Andaja, maybe Sansedaja. The wherever the born in, because of the Sankara Pachya Vijnana, at that time, that means the past causes. Assume that I will explaining about the womb, that if someone is born in as a human, the past life, we will talking about this life. When we this life, we are doing some wholesome and unwholesome activities, maybe verbally, physically, or mentally. Everyone knows that yourself, not others. Within yourself, you know what you are doing and what we are doing good thing and what we are doing bad thing. Then what will happen when we are going aging, when you are life with 30, 40, 50, 60, likewise, when you are going to older, your physical condition will be very worse. The mental condition also worse. You cannot active, you cannot work as your young age, you cannot speak as your young age, you cannot think as your young age. But when you are see some old person, maybe lady or maybe maybe male or female, when they become old, they're just sitting on the chair, maybe they just lay down in the bed, they think more thoughts are coming. Then if you want to just examine this, Just go to some old person who has no any physical fit, who has no any good physical condition. You can ask, what do you think, father, mother? What do you think? Then he might say, no, I'm not thinking anything. Sometimes I can remember what I'm doing, what I did in the past days. Sometimes when I did this one, I did this one, I did this kind of good things, I did this kind of bad things. You can observe. So you have to understanding about that. Whatever the thought process comes as a consciousness, the consciousness is not the same thing. His thought, the consciousness is moment by moment is changed. Remember that. The thought process of whatever is coming to as a consciousness, this is the most dangerous thing. If it is a good thing comes, even if it's a bad thing come, this arising of the consciousness is the really affected. It really helps to the next born. So likewise, when you are going to die, what will happen? The consciousness is coming, maybe wholesome way, one wholesome say as a resource, not a reason, as a resource. Because at that time, when you are going to die, you are physically and mentally, all the condition is going to worse. You have no any uh, full confidence, or you don't have full energy to do the you cannot do wholesome activity, you cannot do wholesome physical or verbal or mental action at the dead point, because the dead point is very worst point, it's a very weak point. In that time, the thought process coming, whatever you are doing, whatever you are acting, whatever you speak, remember. Then when it comes to your mind, you catch, oh, this one I did, wow, I did this good thing, oh, I'm doing bad thing, I did worst thing, oh, what a miserable, what a that. Likewise, that the consciousness can be changing based on the results, based on the vipaka. This vipaka, this based on this up and downs, based on this good or bad, whatever you are touch, you are clinging on that. Oh, this is good. I did this. Suddenly you are dying. But remember that you are dying with something you touch. You are dying simultaneously. You are dying parallelly, but you are touch and you are dying. That is patisan. That is the reason for the next born. Suddenly you born because of within this time period. There is no any gap between the chuti and patisanti. Within suddenly the next nekkana you are born in. We have to understand about this. Next kana it born in. The chuti and patisanti, there is no any gap. That is, you have to understand, someone is born, someone is touched because of your wholesome thought process, wholesome results, whatever you are doing in the past, maybe physically, verbally, or mentally, in the wholesome thing, when it's remind you, oh, I did very good, I did very good deed, I did very good merit. Oh, this is wonderful. At that time, I'm very happy. Now also I'm happy because of that happiness, because of that good thought. Then you're born in whatever the good place. The thought is more powerful, it helps to go to the heaven. The thought is lesser than the powerful than that, then you coming to human world. Even you are born in a human world, some of they can't see, they can't listen. Some of their appearance is something very ugly, some of their appearance is very very beautiful, some of appearance is very straight, very everything is perfect. Some of them have some mistakes. Why this is? Because at the dead point, whichever you are remind, whichever you are catch, whichever you are touch, the results, based on that results, if it is a more powerful one, then the results also powerful. If it is a very weak one, the results also weak. That is why animal, demon, and the asura and the niraya, that is why their life is very weak. Their thought process is very weak. They cannot think. Their wisdom is very weak. Their thought process is very weak. Why? At the dead time, they feel, they catch, they're touching very weak consciousness. Based on the weaker results of the weaker results, then the future results also. Based on the weaker reason, the results also weaker. Based on the powerful reason, the results will be powerful. That is why the difference is happening. But whatever happen, whichever the form and name is arising and preaching, remember that This is cause and effect. There is no any person die and he is going to die, he is going to burn. Only the cause and effects, always based on the cause and effects, based on the cause and effects, the names and form, sometimes only names, sometimes only forms, sometimes names and form both arising preaching. That is the Buddha is already considered. So, however, the Sati says based on the wholesome or unwholesome thing, the same consciousness will be gone. No, there is no, that means it's a permanence. The Sati has a thought about the permanency of the consciousness. Consciousness is never permanent. Consciousness is never permanent because the permanence concept we are coming because in the soul, in the other religious souls also permanent concept. They think same soul is going, same soul is going. No, there is no same soul. If that's so, there should be some person. That is the person's soul is going to life by life, same person's soul. No, that is not teaching of the Buddha. Buddha says if there is a reason, results will be happen. But the reason results combination is unique to each life. The reason results, if I'm doing bad thing, the next life, the results is not going to whatever the other five aggregates. These five aggregates are continuously is life by life, continuity happen until you attain arahantaship. Until the arahantaship, the five aggregates is continue. That is the problem. But not same five aggregates based on the reason result. The moment by moment, the five aggregates also change. If it is change, it's really good. But what is the problem is it's continue. That is suffer. The changing is impermanent. Continuing be changed while changing it's continued, that is suffer. Even so that the impermanence and the while changing it's continue, there is no person, there is no animal, there is no life being. That is reason results concept. That is nonsense. So these three, the anicca, dukkha, anatta, is the final conclusion, the final results that we can realize. There is no permanency. There is no happiness. There is a suffer. There is an answer. That is what Buddha says. There is nothing to attach. There is nothing to touch. There is nothing to take it as a I, me, mine. There is nothing to engage with that. There is nothing to clinging. There is nothing to blessing. There is nothing to expecting life by life because each and every one, the Kanapachupan, if you realize according to the Vipassana, you can feel that Kanapachupanna, the impermanency, suffer and answer. That is what we have to understand. Even you are born in the womb, even you are born in as a heaven, in the Deva, even you are born in the Deva as in the heaven, even you are born as a Brahma in the Brahma world, even you are born in the animal as in the animal world, even you are born in the demon world, even you are born in the hell, impermanence is there, suffer is there, non-self is there. So that is why there is no point to bless or expecting or imaging or dreaming to, oh, I want to go there, I want to go there. There is the best place. This is the best place. There is nothing any best place. Everywhere have an impermanency, suffer and non-self. That is Buddha is teaching. The Gandharva concept is coming like that, there's some of the demons that we call Peta, Kala Kanjika, Kala Kanjika, Paradadupama, Nijjhamatannika. There's some kind of Peta. There's different types of Peta. So, Paradadupama Peta, that also some demon life. But that demon life has some small advantage. What is that? That demon life not like other lives. If we are born as a human, we cannot take the others merits or whoever doing merits on behalf of us. Assume that your father is died and he's born as a human, but you are always praying and you always doing down offer, you are doing more and come, you don't know where the father is, where is born, but father is already born as a human. But you think, oh, father will maybe go, maybe father the next born is not good, then father maybe suffer, then we have to do more merits, and we have to share the merits to the father. It will never happen. Buddha says that If the person is died and he is born as a Brahma, he is born as a Deva, he is born as a human, your share in merit is not worth, because they will never gain in your share in merits. Even your father or mother or whatever the relations died and they are born as an animal, your share in merit is not worth, because for the animals they cannot take. Even your relative person is born in the hell, your share in merits is not worth, because they cannot take that merits. But there is a one point, there is a one part, there is a one chance you can share your merits to the whichever the born who is born in the demon life as a paradadupama jivi. Paradadupama, the word, the meaning. Paradatta, who is giving the shares, who share the merits, then they can, oh, wonderful, they are remembered us, they are sharing merits to us. Oh, wonderful, I like this, I'm really accepting, I want that share. As based on that, that life become a more powerful, maybe they can comes to the animal world, or maybe they can comes to the human world, or maybe based on that sharing merits, suddenly they can appear in the deva world, suddenly they can appear in the human world, suddenly then they can appear in the animal world, because they are end up this suffer as a demon, and their life become more powerful than whichever the demon life. That is the only point we have to clear talking about the Gandhab. So that is not a Gandhab, that is also some live being. But this concept, most of the people misinterpret. When someone is died, they are in some space and they are waiting for the sharing merits. Then they take the merits and they born that good life or whatever the life. That is wrong. If they are born as a Paradatupamajivi, mean they are born as a demons, is a Petha. That means they are the new life as a Petha. But that Petha, that types of Petha, they can take the whoever share in the merits, they can accepting, and they can aggregate, they can upgrade their life as a better life than that Paradadupamajivi. That is the upgrade. Upgrade means they can suddenly go to the heaven, they can suddenly go to the human world based on that offer, that the sharing merits. That is only for the Paradhatupamajivi. So this concept some of misinterpret. When someone is die, they are staying, or they are leave some space, then they are waiting for the sharing merits, then take sharing merits and they born in the new life. That is totally wrong. So that concept most of the people they are knowing as the Gandhabba. That is really wrong, because I know about this. But in this sutta is Gandhabba says that Gandhabba mean someone is they die, suddenly it will be born. The next kana it born in the womb. You know, Gandhabba mean whichever the live being is born in some womb, we known as a he's arising. Suddenly is arising. So, and also another Gandhabba concept in the Deva world, Gandharva. In Pali, it says Gandhab, Gandhabbanang Adipati, Dataratto Itinama. So likewise in the Atanati Sutta, there's a name in the Gandhab. This is Gandhab is we known as some kind of yak, some kind of deva, some kind of the live being who are lived in the deva, in the heavens. We call Gandhabba. So this tree have to understanding. In this sutta, Gandhabba is really mentioned about the consciousness of the burning. That means when someone is died, suddenly it's appeared in the womb, or suddenly it's appeared in some whichever the life being. That part also we call Gandhabba. But some of them they are misinterpret Gandhabba as something like that. There's some of the life being in the demon world we call Paradadhupamajivi, but only for these demons they can take the whichever the relatives, if they are sharing the merits, they can see and they can observe and they can take me, they can see what they are doing on behalf of them, then they can be happy. Based on this happiness, based on their joyfulness, their life become upgrade. Even they sharing, they cannot take it as it is. Mind to mind, that is what we have to understand. When we share in the merits to the whoever pass away, we can share from the mind to mind, not the physical. When we are doing some good thing, they see and they joy and they're happy. Oh, wonderful! They are remember us. They are doing for us. They are doing for us. They already mentioned our names in past lives, and they are sharing memories. What a wonderful! What a wonderful! Wow! I really feel happy. Based on this happiness, joyfulness, their life become upgrade. That is we call this concept. Most of the people misunderstanding about the Gandhabba. So another question. Vandam, please explain how and where past lives memories stored.
Bante,
Ah,
Bante,
the
about
one, yeah,
Gandhabba means Paradattupama is not considered as Gandhabba, which is wrong
no,
view by
no,
Hinduism. It is
no,
wrong view
that,
by the Hinduism.
yeah,
And
yeah,
here,
because,
huh,
yeah, tell you, please, sorry.
and here Gandhabba is means the Patisandhi.
Patisandhi, that's true. Very clearly, it's main Patisandhi, right? Is whatever the consciousness Patisandhi as in the womb or wherever, that is in this sutta, it's clearly mentioned about the Gandhabba. The Gandhabba word is used for the Patisandhi.
Okay, Bante. And Purattimena Dattarato is also Gandhabba.
Is a not Gandhabba because it says Gandhabbanang Adipati Dataratto iti nama. So there are some names. They are put some names because Gandharva in the heavens. Whoever playing the musical instruments and whoever
Yes.
interested with the musical, then they
Hmm.
Yes.
known as a Gandharva, the
Yes.
Gandharva.
Gandharva. Yes, yes. Thank you, Bante. Thank you, sir.
Okay. The another one is some question is asking about Vandanta. Please explain how and where past life memory is stored. Actually, remember that there is no any place remembered. There is no any stored. The thing is, you have to understand this concept. This is continuous reason results effect. Reason results effect. Cause and effect separate. Continuous. There is no any space. There is no any rest space. There is no any resting time. The names and forms continuously is happening. Arising, preaching, arising, preaching, arising, preaching, arising, preaching. Then no need to store any place because the process is it's like this. It's like this. If the river is starting from somewhere, I'm not talking about the starting point. When the water flow is water. The flow of the water is start continuously water flow is continuously coming. There is no any place, oh, I have to store in there, and when water want I will give it, when water want I will give it. No, entire names and forms is continuously is coming continuously because the karma, that is what we have to understand. According to the Patana, the karma pache says that kusala akusala kammanam vipakanam kandhanam katatta rupanam cha karma pache pacheyo चेतना संपयुक्तकानां धम्मानां तं समुत्थानानां च रूपाणां कम्मपच्चेन पच्यु. That is which very important. The intention, the chetana. Because of based on this chetana, whatever we doing, the process, the if the process is continuous, whatever the karma is, it's really connect with this process. When the times come, then the results will come. When the time is not there, still the results is still the karma, the still that whichever the result still not comes at the time, but it still have something like that. In the Moggalla, the Mahamoggalla, of the past life, the 500 years, 500 lives before, he hit his father and mother, who's blinded father and mother, based on his wife's word, he's hitting. But after 500 years, the resources comes. Even he escaping 6 times, he see what he want to see what is the reason why this come, the why this is comes to me. Then he saw that the result, he saw this is, he know that, he realized that I cannot escape. That doesn't mean that the come is store somewhere and coming. It means that entire this life, entire the 500 lives based on this process, because that is why the names and form is the process. They come also connect with this process. If the karma is connect with the process, when the good time or right times comes, the karma will, as a result, it comes. There is no any store places. There is no any
Imprintation.
memories or stores.
Is
Yeah.
it like imprintation?
Sorry.
Is it like imprintation? Means the comma is imprinted, the resultant.
Yeah, because cause and effects. Remember that Because we already mentioned, we already feel that there should be some place for the memory. There should be some place for the. That is why I will explain another one. In your life, in this life, some of the people, their brain is damaged. Maybe brain is died. Then, but he can he from his high everything is he can see his heart is work. Then someone go and say, "Can you remember me? Can you see me?" No response. No response mean what is that? In within this life, the even the sanya sankar is arising from the heart. There is no actually in this life there is storage in the brain. Storage mean there's in the brain there is some giving even the sanya sankar arising from the heart. The details, the data is given by the brain. But remember that that doesn't mean that the storage is the memory, storage in the brain. Whatever we are doing in the past memories and past thing, everything connect with this process. There is no any physical, there is no any material or physical part. Oh, this is the memory part. If it is so, if we say something, no, the everything is stored in here, then we can remove that part. We can removing that part from our body. Then what will happen? All the memories will be lost. All the karma can be we can remove from the removing that part. That is not true, because the truth is the memory, whichever the chetana, which is the karma is a name, not a form. The name is always connect with the reason results that the process. If it is connecting, that is why even we are doing whatever the good thing or bad thing, some of them they said we are always doing good thing, but every time the bad things happen to our life. Some of the people they are always doing bad things, but every time good things happens to their life. Some of them they are explaining like this. Even we are doing whatever good things, always bad things come to our life. Some of them they are always doing bad things, but they are very happy. They are really enjoying. They have a very joyful life. What is this dhamma? This is not fair. Some of them they telling like that. But remember that whatever we are doing, good or bad, it's connect with the process. It's a connection of the process. When the time come, when the right time mean, if you are doing more wholesome thing, still you are able, still you have a good results, good results, good results. That is why when you are born as a human, then you have good teachers, you have good dhamma friends, you have good environment. What will happen? Even bad results is coming. You can manage. You have to have dhamma knowledge, and even always think when you are thinking about the good things comes to you every time. Because in the past life also you are doing good things. That is why the things helps to again and again and again you can improve. Assume that you are born as a animal, you are born as a demon, then your mind is very weak. What will happen? The bad things always helps. That is why everything anger, the afraid, hatred, everything that is when you see the animals, they are very suffer. Because why? The weaker mind always supporting the unwholesome resource. The strong mind always helps to the wholesome resource. But remember that doesn't mean that the unwholesome results will not happen. It doesn't mean the any time can unwholesome results can be happen. But if you are more strong in the dhamma, if you are more practicing dhamma, if you are following more dhamma, then the always wholesome results comes to your life, because only you open the wholesome side. If you open the unwholesome side, the unwholesome results also come. Just check, if you have stop all the dhamma practices and everything 1 week, what will happen? Your mind will be collapsed. Your mind will be very upset. Oh, I don't have any dhamma. I don't have any dhamma talk. I am not following any dhamma. You feel very upset. That is what the reason resource is. There is no any store place as a material, as a physically. This is connect with the mind. This is connect with this process. If it is connect with the process, whatever the time, whichever the time, when it's a suitable time, when the resource come to suitable time, it comes. That is how the Moggallana, even he become arahantaship. When the time is come, even the arahantaship cannot stop the resource. So I think you can understand about that question. So, however, then the Buddha is explaining about the sati bhikkhu, the vinyana, the consciousness, vijnana. The consciousness is not a permanent. Consciousness also arises in preaching based on the reason results. Because of the reason results, the consciousness is also happen. That is why consciousness is also not permanent, it's impermanent. Is consciousness is also not happiness, it's a sadness, it's a suffer. Consciousness is not self, it's a non-self. So anicca dukkha anatta, not only for the consciousness, vedana, sanya, sankara, vijnana, the four names as well as the rupa, the names and forms, everything is impermanent and also suffer and also non-self. That is the main and the deeper concept Buddha is teaching. So, according to the Mahātaṇhāsaṅkhaya Sutta, you have to following, you have to understanding about this concept, not the story. If you know the concept, then you can realize what because the Sutta story is no need, but Buddha is what teach, that is most important. So later on we can explaining about not from the Sutta, but there are another Sutta also and also we have to discuss about Paticcasamuppada again and again. So when we are comes that sub the topics, then we will explaining again and again what is about this and how it is about this. And another good sutta we can understand Mahāthipadupama Sutta. That is also very interesting sutta. Then it's really explaining how to realize and how to manage, how to go through with the vipassana. When we are see, heard, and everything within yourself and within the external and the past, present, future, everything is explaining about vipassana. So later on, slow by slow, and we will explaining about Dhamma in deep because this is very deep concept, not easy to understand, but I think you have some idea about what today we are discussed. Then if you have any questions, then you can question at this moment. I think it's good time for the question. If you don't
Yes,
have any
Bante. I
question,
have
then we
one
can stop.
question.
Yeah,
Yes. So, Bante, in between the lecture, in mid, you said you were talking about how Buddhism differentiates from other religions because of the Praticca Samuppada.
yeah,
So, and there is a cause and result theory.
yeah,
So, yeah. So today is there is a very big problem in front of the Buddhism, in the world of Buddhism. There is called eclecticism.
yeah, yeah,
Eclecticism. Yes, yes,
yeah.
yes. The people.
Quantum physics, right?
Yeah, yeah. Eclecticism means right now people are doing multiple practices.
I see.
Yeah, yeah. So multiple spiritual practices. So I have been observing this thing since yeah, 2 years. That yes, from the Dalai Lama's office also, and some other bhikshus from Pali uh, tradition. They have been talking like you are where you are from. If you are a Christian, you can become a good Christians with by using Buddhist philosophy. If you are Islam, if you're following Islam, or if you're born in Islam family, then it is completely fine. Just take this Buddhist philosophy, and you can become a good Muslim
Muslim
and something
person.
else. Yeah, yeah, yes. So this kind of eclecticism, multiple. If you're born in some another family, then it's fine. But you can practice the Buddhism with your religion also. You can combine that, and so this eclecticism thing is now
So
growing.
there's the thing is, any person, in this world, because this is everything is, this is Western topic about Buddhism, Christian, and then Islamic and Hinduism. This is we are categorize people as the religion based on the religion. But when they are born in, they never coming as a label. Oh, I'm Buddhism, I'm Christian, I'm Hinduism, I'm Muslim. They are never born like the tag. They are
Yeah,
never born as a label, right? They are
yeah,
just born as a name and
it's
form.
completely understandable. But another part is there the using multiple practices at what time they are following.
Because
It is
remember that, yeah, yeah, I will explain it. The multiple practice. If someone is, I assume that I'm a Muslim person. I'm praying the Allah and I'm also following Sila Samadhi Panya, right? This is something kind of like that, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, only the thing is very good question, but the thing is remember that if you are following Sila Samadhi Panya, one point there is a one point. Even I'm praying for the God and the Allah. and I'm also following the Buddhism, the Sila, Samadhi, Panya. Then one time, what is the point? Maybe beginning he's okay. He's doing offering dana. He's offering whatever the food and everything, and he's doing always wholesome thing, physically, verbally, and mentally. He's not doing any bad, unwholesome thing. That's okay. He can multiply. He can manage both. But remember that when the wisdom is improving, then he realized. In one time, he realized that is wrong. The praying for the God is wrong. That is foolish. There is no God. There is not. Because remember that in the Indians' time also, India time, there are many teachers. Nigantanatha Buddha, Purna Kassapa, Ajita Kesakambali, Pakuta Kachayana, Makali Gosala. There are many teachers. More followers, many followers than sometimes when the Buddha is arising. There is no Buddha. For the Buddha, there is no person. There is no any followers for the Buddha. But for the other teachers, there are more followers. Then what will happen? Still they are believing about that, and but they're listening about Buddha. He's teaching something different. Then some of them they want to, okay, I will question, I know the question, I will argue. He cannot win. Then what will happen? They are going and asking some. When they are going to close to Buddha, they forget to ask a question because of the appearance, because of the Buddha's the powerfulness of the Buddha. They are forget to ask question. They just listening. Yes, 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 yes. Oh, what a wonderful, what a wonderful. This is really good. That is really right. What I am believing, what I am following, that is not, that is not good. That is not right. This is the right thing. This is the right thing. So what is happening? They change. Even the multiple practices, we have to encourage them because the wisdom is not coming from the Muslim, not coming from the Christian, not coming from the Hinduism. The wisdom is something very powerful factor, powerful chetasika. When the wisdom is more and more and more, what happening is life change. The change, the point of the life change, we don't know, but we have to wait. We have to wait because I know some of the Muslim people, some of the Christian people, they're really believing about Buddhism, but some of because of their church influence, because of their mosque influence, because of their relatives, because of their neighbors influence, they are stopped and they are not even show. Even they want to pay respect to the Buddha, they don't want to show that because if they are showing off that, another will definitely blaming and they will this is it become a really big problem. But they have a faithful. In India also, most of the Hindu people, they have a faithful in the Buddha. But they are still waiting, still silent, still silent. Multiple practicing is not bad, but remember that. If not practicing is better than, if the multiple practice is better than not practicing. If someone is Muslim people, if some person is Christian or Hinduism, even he's practicing Sila Samadhi Panya, not Buddhism. There is no any meaning of Buddhism. There is no Buddhism. Entire world, any person can following Sila, Samadhi, Panya. That is universal truth. Sila, Samadhi, Panya is the universal truth. That is not Buddhism. Buddhism is a religion. Buddhism is not a religion. This is a philosophy. Buddhism is not a philosophy. Buddhism is a concept. Buddhism is not a concept. Buddhism is a universal truth. We cannot. Buddhism is this. We cannot say Buddhism is this. Buddhism is only for this person. Buddhism is the only for this person. Buddha is never says like that. Buddha says, Dhamma, Sanditiko Dhammo, Swakato Dhammo, Ehipassiko Dhammo, Opanaiko Dhammo, Pachattam Vedithabbo Dhammo. Buddha never says, only for Buddhist people Dhamma, only for Buddhist people Ehipassika. But remember that. I will give another example. You know the Visakha Sittu Devi, the lady who's the Agradayika. He's married with the non-religious family, but non-religious. He is married with the non-religious family. Then the Migara Setta, the Settiputta is the Migar. The Setti is the Migar. He is the in charge. He is the main person in that non-religious family. He is following Niganta. One day he want to give a more the big dana for the Niganta. Then Nigara said to the Visakha, the daughter of Visakha, today my Arya is coming to my home. So you have to be ready and you have to be very formally welcome of them. Then he's very happy. Oh, Arya is coming. She's ready, and when she going to in front of the house, they saw the many of the naked people, then many of the naked the priests, the Nigantas are coming to the dan. Then he said, who are them? They are not my Arya, they are not Arya, they are just Nikanta. Who respect to them? Blaming and go inside. Then the Migara Setti got upset. Then he, because that he's very believe, he's thoroughly believe on the Nigant. Then they said, "Oh, the my lady that who said this the Vishaka, that the lady who is coming, he has as my son's wife. He's not believing Niganta. He's only believing Buddha. That is the problem." Then he said, "Okay, okay, no problem, no problem." Then one day, what is happening is the one day Vishaka also preparing a dana for the Buddha and the rest of the Sangha. Then what is happened? Then he said, the Miga, then the Nigantas are advised to the Migara Setti, don't go there. You have to hide and see, don't go there. Because Buddha has a very magical power. He can change every person to himself. And he will definitely, he also change yourself. Don't go there. They accept. Then Migara is accept and he hiding some curtain and he hiding and wait and see what is happening, everything. Buddha knows that. Buddha knows he's hiding and see. Then Buddha is giving Dhamma talk on behalf of himself. Once he listening Dhamma, he enlightened, he become a Sotapan. He feel very happy. He feel very free. He feel very relaxed. Then he is crying and he is hugged with the Vishaka and he said, oh, you are my mother. You give me the real Dhamma. You show me the real Dhamma. You give me the real practice. What a wonderful Dhamma. I really realize this is Dhamma, real. This is the real truth. Then he changed. So multiple practice also, not bad. However, practice, universal truth is the truth. Every other things it will become a lie. Every other teachers and every other beliefs will be worse, and every other will be beliefs will be bad, will be changed, and they realize, oh, that is not true. This is truth. That should be. That should be. We know normally Buddhist people are following Buddhism. I'm really happy if someone Hinduism or Muslimism or whoever following the Buddhism, we have to encourage them because one day they will change. One day they will change. And also other thing is that is the karma vipaka, because in the last life, the last Buddha Sasana also, they are not following Buddha, but they have a faith. There are maybe some of the, because of the others talk or others, whatever the teaching, they change their mind. They reject the Buddhism and they following other religions. That is why in this life also, even they are born in the non-religious family, internally they feel there should be sila, there should be samadhi, there should be panya. That is why they are interested in Buddhism. But they have to have go more life because their wisdom is changing, not fixed, not powerful. But we have to encourage them. We have to encourage them. Don't worry. Even they are following both. There is a one point. There is a one time. One moment. They change. Until that, we have to wait. That is the only thing. So I think you can understand what I'm meaning. So
Understand, but why asked this question? Because yeah, right now there are many peoples right now using the blend philosophy, and they are misguide the people. That's why misguide the people today. So that's why I asked the questions, the
no,
multiple
that's true
practices, because
because
yeah,
misguidance and the misrepresent and everything happening in the future, it will be more worse. That is the
yeah,
truth.
yeah,
It
yeah,
will be
yeah,
more worse. But the thing is, there is nothing to do for us because
yeah, yeah.
that is how, if some person have a mistake,
Mm,
then he always trying to cover that mistake from the wholesome thing, the good things. When he shows his good side, the people forget his bad side.
mm,
So normally, some of the people they are robbering, then they are killing people, they are gambling, and they have a gangsters. but they always showing some good things for the people. They are donating, they are offering some foods, and they are engaging with the monks, engaging with the priests. Then they are showing they are very faithful person. Then what will happen?
Yes, yes,
People
yes.
actually, people foolish with that. Oh, this person is not a bad person. See,
They start
he's
believing it's good.
engaging. Yeah, he's doing very good thing and he's engaging with good people. How we can say he's bad? But he's a killer and he's a gangster. He's a robber. But he's acting with something very good way.
Yeah.
This is how happen in the other religions also. They know in future they realize that they are following and they are faithful has some mistakes. That is why they are mixed with the Buddhism. They are showing and they are covered their whatever the weakness based on the Buddhism. That's okay.
Mm.
That's okay because even they are misinterpret, even they misinterpret. If there is a wise person, if there is a wisdom person, he definitely totally changed their religion and definitely converted to the Buddhism. Remember that. Even there's a Buddhist people, even the Buddhist people, as for example, Sati Bhikkhu, he's a monk. Still
Mm.
Buddha is alive. Buddha is still alive. There's a Sati Bhikkhu. He's a monk. He's become a monk in the Buddha Sasana, even though he has some wrong view, right? So in that day, in today's society, even the other people misunderstanding or misrepresenting, it can be happen. It is happen. Even not only the other religions, but also in the Buddhism in Sri Lanka also many monks they are misinterpretation in Dhamma,
Yeah,
misrepresenting
yeah,
the
yeah.
Dhamma. Then that is happening. That is true
Also,
because
they
some of them they
misinterpret
are
the
following.
Gandhabba concept also.
Yeah. Because
Yeah, yeah.
we cannot stop. We cannot stop. We have to only focus on ourselves and always if there are any person who is taking dhamma as a wrong way, then we can explain it. If they are not changed, nothing to do. That is their karma. The karma is very powerful. So we cannot change. Only the thing is, first of all, you have to focus on yourself. You have to follow dhamma. You have to attain nibbana as soon as possible. That is the only thing that we can do.
Yes, thanks a lot, Bante. So, do others have any questions? Then please ask the Bante as quickly as possible. Uh, Anyone who have any question?
Because now are you already in Sri Lanka, so there is no any gap between time gaps with you and us. So
Yeah, yeah.
we can actually that is why I take some more time and I explain
Mm.
in this sutta.
Yes.
Actually, still I'm not satisfied with this sutta. I want to explain more and more about this, but I will stop today this sutta and we will move to the other sutta because this concept again and again we have to repeat and again we can teach because of the other sutta also connect with this concept. So no need to worry about that. If you have any
Yes.
question on behalf of this sutta, then you can ask.
Anyone who has any question? Anyone? If anybody have any question, then please ask quickly as possible. Nanda ji, Ranjana ji,
No,
Ambur
thank you.
ma'am.
No,
Yeah.
really, I
Okay
have to
then.
ask about Samvedana word used in some traditions here, and that is the four element which is seen as Vedana in body. But it will take much time, so I don't want.
No. Worry and Vedana is two things. You know, worry is we call Uddachya.
No,
Vedana
no,
is a feeling.
no. Here, Samvedana word is used, and it is surged in the body, which is actually Vedana.
Yeah. Because Vedana we are divided into five ways. Sukha, Dukkha, Somanasa, Domanasa, Upekka. Sukha, Dukkha we are talking about physically. You know, some if you are asleep in the comfortable bed, we feel very happy. That is Sukha. If we sleep in the floor or the cold floor or something road or somewhere, the sleeping is not well. The physical, the body also paining and here and the mosquitoes are biting and everything. That is Dukkha Vedana. The Sukha and Dukkha is connecting with the body. Then the Somanasa Domanasa, it's connecting with the mind. Sometimes when we get angry, that is Domanasa. Sometimes we're happy, it is Somanasa. Whichever these four, Sukha, Dukkha, Somanasa, Upekka, all the four types of the feelings we are uh, categorized in a Vedana, under the Vedana. There's one of the Vedana we call Upekha Vedana, that is for the physically or mentally, the mind is in middle. Whichever the paining, whichever the happiness or sadness, the mind is in middle. The body also adjusts with the mind, the middle way, that is we call Upekha. Especially Upekha Vedana is related with the mind, but there are five types of Vedana, Sukha, Dukkha. These two are connecting with the physical body. Somanasa, Domanasa is connect with the mind. The Upekha is both mind and physically, it can be in the middle. That is five types of Vedana. Under the, we'll remember that even the Sukha, even the Dukkha, even the Somanas, even the Domanasa, even the Upekha, which with these five types of Vedana, with five types of feelings, we are known as in one word Vedana.
So it is
Yes.
seen in Chitta Vithi.
Yeah, how it is seen in the Chitta Viti is, remember that in the Chitta Viti we have to understand when the Bhavanga Chalana, Bhavanga Upacheda, the Panchadvara Vajjana. The Panchadvara Vajjana is the Chitta. It has a Vedana, is a Vedana Chaitasika. The Vedana Chaitasika especially is Upekha Vedana because you know Panchadvara Vajjana is Ahetuka Chitta, it has no any Somanasa or Domanasa, is Upekha Vedana. When it's come to Chakvinyana, again it's Upekha Vedana because Chakvinyana also Ahetuka Chitta, it has no any Sukha Somanasa or Domanasa, is Ahetuka, then Upekha Vedana. Then the Samparichana Santirna Vattapana, until Vattapana still has Upekha Vedana, it's connect with the mind because the Viti is connect with the mind.
Hmm.
But when you are doing whatever the physical or whichever the thought process you are doing physically or verbally, maybe sometimes your body will be can be changed. Your the physical, especially in the Sukha Sahagata Kaya Vinyana, Sukha Sahagata Kaya Vinyana, Saha Dukkha Sahagata Kaya Vinyana. There's a two Ahetuka Chitta, Sukha Sahagata Kaya Vinyana, Dukkha Sahagata Kaya Vinyana. That is calling about body. In the Chitta
And
Viti, most of the time, Vedana is coming with the Upekka. Sometimes it can be so many because if you are doing wholesome thing, is a Kamavachara Kusala, then the Somanasa Sahagata Jnana Samprayukta Sankara. See, the Somanasa Sahagata, that the Vedana is coming in the Somanasa Sahagata. When you have anger, there's a Domanasa Sahagata, Patika Sampayukta, then the anger is coming in the Domanasa way. They both are coming with the mind.
but Dukkha Sagata is in Apaya or it is in human
No, no, no,
also?
no, no. Sahagata Kaya Vijnana mean assume that now you are sitting. Suddenly your chair is broken and you are fell down. Your body is paining. Oh, here pain. Maybe you are when you are running or when you are walking, you sleepy. You slept down and your leg or somewhere is hitting in the floor. Then you feel paining. That is dukkha sahagata kaya vijnana.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, Bhante.
Then the Sukha Sahagata mean when you want to go sleep, then your bed is very comfortable. When you are asleep, then you feel, wow, this is very cool. Your body is very happy about that, this touch. That is Sukha Sahagata, Kaya Vijnana. Both are Hetuka Chitta.
Yes,
Based
what?
on that, based on that, then anger can be happen, craving can be happen. That is another Chitta.
But means we have to see in Chitta Vithi only or in Kaya.
Sorry.
We see these different types of Vedana in Chitta Vithi only, no?
No, 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 no. Now, when you are listening Dhamma, are you feel happy or sad?
Happy.
You feel happy. That is Somanasa Sahagata Vedana. When
Hmm.
someone is blaming, maybe your husband or maybe your son or daughter, maybe your university, one of the student, maybe blaming to you. You feel happy or sad.
Right.
That sad is become, that is Domanasa Sahagata Vedana. That is you experience, right? That is the sadness or happiness experienced by not me, experienced by yourself. That is experience level. You know this is Somanasa Vedana, this is Domanasa Vedana, right?
Hmm.
As
Yes.
it is if your leg or if your head or if you have some if you hit something or someone hit you, then you feel paining in your body. That is dukkha vedana, right?
Hmm.
maybe
Hmm.
your maybe your children hug you, they kiss you, then you feel sukha sahagata vedana. That is about Sukha and Dukkha, then you can experience that.
Hmm.
Not only the
Thank you.
chitta vritti, but also whatever the action, whatever the experience, when the senses are object with the outside things, then we can feel the Vedana as it is in the that five different type.
Thank you, Bhante. Vandami.
Yes. So does anyone others have any questions? Uh, if yes, then please ask quickly as possible. So we will end the session here. प्रीति
बनतेंना
ma'am,
ऑलरेडी खूप लेट झालाय
yeah.
तर
So
त्यामुळे हा
yeah, ठीक है. So Bante, none of is asking any question right now, so we will end the session here. So Kavita ma'am, I'm requesting to you to please recite the Gatha, Punyanumodana.
Thank you, Bhaiya. नमो तस्य भगवतो अर्हतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्स नमो तस्य भगवतो अर्हतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्स नमो तस्य भगवतो अर्हतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्स सब पापस्य अकरणं कुशलस्य उपसम्पदा सचित्त परियोदपनं एतं बुद्धानशासनं धम्मं चरे सुचरितं न तं दुचरितं चरे धम्मचारी सुखं सेति अस्मिन् लोके परमे न तावता धम्मधरो यावता बहुभासते यो च अपम्पि सुत्वानं धम्मं कायेन पश्यति सवे धम्मधरो होति यो धम्मं न पमज्जति नत्थि मे शरणं गण्यं बुद्धो मे शरणं वरम् एतेन सच्चवज्जेन होतु ते जयमङ्गलं नत्थि मे शरणं गण्यं धम्मो मे शरणं वरम् एतेन सच्चवज्जेन भवतु सब्बमङ्गलं नत्थि मे शरणं गण्यं सङ्घो मे शरणं वरम् एतेन सच्चवज्जेन जयसु जय मंगलम साधु 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 वंदामि भिन्ते हमत में भिन्ते.
Okay, I would like to share all the merits today as well as. So, especially I would like to thank for the organizing committee who are giving such opportunity to sharing the knowledge which I learn and which I know about according to the Buddha's teaching, and also whichever we generate or whichever we accumulate the merits, I would like to share with all the participants, especially Preeti ma'am as well as all the participants who really encouraged me and giving this chance and opportunity, especially our Venerable Buddha Gosabante. He also very good Kalyana Mitta for you all. Then he's the person who really invite me to conduct this session for the people. And I would like to share all these merits to all of you and may attain Nibbana as soon as possible. And especially I would like to share all the merits who are really protecting the Buddha Sasana as a Deva, as a Brahma. To all the Devas and Brahmas, please take this all the shared merits and please take all these shared merits and protect the Buddha Sasana until 5,000 years, as well as finally may all have been attained Nibbana as soon as possible. Thank you very much.
Yes, thanks a lot, Bante. Thank you very much for today.
थँक्यू